And tensions between NATO and Russia are rising once again, this time along the northern edge of Europe. NATO has officially opened a new command center in Finland, just a short distance from Russia's border, prompting Moscow to ramp up its own military presence nearby. NATO's command center is located in the Finnish city of Mikkeli, roughly 300 kilometers from St. Petersburg and about 140 kilometers from the Russian border. According to the Finnish Defense Ministry, this new center will oversee NATO ground operations in Northern Europe, manage joint military exercises and coordinate land defense strategies if an emergency arises. The facility currently employs about 10 personnel, but that number will grow to around 50 during peacetime operations. It will function under NATO's command structure in America's Virginia, operating round the clock as part of the alliance's broader defense framework. In response, Russia appears to be fortifying its western defenses, with NATO officials pointing to satellite images confirming new construction of Russian bases and military infrastructure near the Finnish border. That perhaps appear to be in the early stages of a long-term expansion. NATO officials said that this build-up looks far smaller in scale compared to Russia's military positioning before the Russia-Ukraine war broke out in 2022. Now, Finnish defense officials believe that once the intense phase of the Russia-Ukraine war subsides, Moscow could redeploy thousands of troops to the Finnish border. Russia had already announced last month that it would strengthen its 1,300-kilometer border with Finland by erecting new fortifications and barriers, citing what it called potential unfriendly acts from Helsinki. Finland, on its part, has also begun reinforcing its eastern border. Construction of a 200-kilometer fence is underway and is expected to be completed by the end of 2026. Now, across Europe, other nations are making similar preparations. In Sweden, its citizens are stocking up on food items for a potential European war, with authorities encouraging measures to boost readiness.
In the event of a crisis or even war, it's important that every individual in our country knows that they are a key player and they need to prepare to be a key player by stocking up food, making sure they have water and other things that makes their world go around.
Now, in Estonia, authorities have started expanding fortifications along the Russian border, including fences, anti-tank barriers and underground bunkers, while Germany is reviewing its medical readiness for a large-scale conflict. Military planners are preparing systems capable of treating up to 1,000 wounded soldiers a day if a war breaks out between NATO and Russia. Poland is intensifying its defense training programs with efforts to prepare every adult male for potential mobilization. Further north, Norway, which shares nearly 200 kilometers of its border with Russia, is reopening old military bunkers and has made bomb shelters mandatory in all new building designs. Reports of unidentified drones flying over European cities such as Munich in Denmark have stirred concerns that Russia could be probing NATO's air defenses. At a recent forum in Sochi, Russian President Vladimir Putin warned that Moscow would respond significantly to Europe's militarization.
In Germany, for example, they're talking about how the German army should once again be the most powerful in Europe. Well, we're listening carefully, watching what exactly they mean. I think no one doubts that Russia's countermeasures won't be long in coming. The response to these threats, it seems, to put it mildly, will be very significant.
All right, so from Finland to Germany, preparations suggest a growing sense that NATO is getting ready across the continent for a war with Russia. For latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.